Anthony Joshua moves through his training camp with the kind of quiet intensity that only comes from a man who has carried the weight of a division on his shoulders. Every rep, every sprint, every thundering combination on the pads reflects a fighter who knows his power, knows his experience, and knows the enormous gulf that separates him from Jake Paul. Inside the gym, Joshua's body moves like a machine built for war. His coaches watch closely, pushing him to refine every angle, every slip, every counter, guiding him through explosive strength sessions designed to sharpen the tools he was born with. Joshua listens calmly, nodding with the assurance of a man who has fought world champions, survived wars, and stood under the brightest lights the sport can offer. While cameras catch every movement, he remains composed, almost cold, because he knows the truth the world is still debating. Jake Paul is stepping into a universe that does not belong to him. Yet on the other side, Jake Paul powers through his own training. Surrounded by cameras, hype, and the energy that built his career, he hits the bag with force, runs drills with discipline, and tells the world he's ready to shock everyone once again. His team praises his evolution, his conditioning, and his understanding of technique, insisting that he is not the same novice who entered boxing years ago. But the looming comparison casts a long shadow. His understanding of the sport, no matter how much it has grown, remains dwarfed by the years Joshua spent fighting giants, surviving championship rounds, and taking punches from men who hit like trucks. Paul works hard. That much is clear. He has talent, athleticism, and determination. But effort alone cannot erase the truth of levels. And the levels between these two men stretch farther than any promotion can bridge. Around them, promoters and pundits dissect the matchup with a mix of fascination and disbelief. Eddie Hearn repeatedly emphasizes the financial magnitude of the fight, pointing out that opportunities like this appear only at rare moments in a fighter's career. Joshua has weathered the elite. He has climbed to the top twice, fought the most dangerous men of his era, and carried British boxing during some of its highest and lowest points. For him, this fight is not a challenge. It is a payday, a business decision, a risk-free opportunity to collect a career-high purse in exchange for facing a man who has yet to share the ring with a true heavyweight. Hearn speaks practically, saying that prize fighting is not built on pride alone. Money matters, timing matters, and easy opportunities matter even more when a fighter has already accomplished everything he dreamed of. Analysts echo that sentiment as they look at the situation with both skepticism and realism. They remind the world that Joshua's resume includes names like Klitschko, Povetkin, White, Parker, and Usyk, men who have supported the heavyweight mountain with their fists and their legacy. Even after more than a year away from competition, Joshua remains on a completely different tier from someone whose experience comes from YouTubers, ex-MMA fighters, and cruiserweights with limited power. They explained that inactivity might slow a fighter's rhythm, but it cannot erase the reflexes and instincts built through years of elite competition. Joshua's jab alone, they argue, is a weapon Jake Paul has never experienced. His uppercut is something Paul has no preparation for. His timing, foot placement, and ability to explode in an instant are all elements that Paul cannot simulate in sparring. To them, this is not a competitive fight. It is a mismatch that only exists because of the money attached. But concern creeps into the conversation as well, especially among those who understand the brutality of boxing. Several experts warn that allowing this fight to be fully sanctioned is flirting with danger. Jake Paul has never been hit by a man who weighs 245 pounds and punches with the intention of ending a night abruptly. He has never stood in front of an Olympic gold medalist with heavyweight knockout power. These aren't opinions. They're warnings issued by men who've seen careers change forever with a single punch. They fear that the fight may cross lines the sport should never cross, that entertainment might overshadow safety, and that Paul, no matter his courage, may not realize the magnitude of what he is signing up for. Meanwhile, critics focus on the legacy question. Joshua is a two-time unified heavyweight champion, a global superstar, and one of the most recognizable boxers of the modern era. Some argue that stepping in against Jake Paul risks diminishing the respect he has earned. They point out that fighters like Joshua carry tradition, honor, and history. Facing a YouTuber, even for a massive payday, could be seen as cheapening that legacy. Others counter that boxing has always borrowed from spectacle, and that greats from various eras have accepted unusual fights for money, timing, or personal motivation. Joshua, they say, is no different. The sport is unpredictable, and fighters make decisions based on opportunity rather than nostalgia. Tommy Fury, reflecting on his own victory over Jake Paul, laughs at the idea that Paul belongs in the same ring as Joshua. To him, the comparison borders on absurdity. He explains that if he, an inexperienced boxer by heavyweight standards, could beat Paul, then Joshua, a far more powerful and polished fighter, would need less than a minute. Tommy discusses size, strength, and pressure, saying that Joshua's very presence is a problem Paul can't solve. He jokes that if Joshua were beaten by Paul, he himself would be the rightful heavyweight champion by association. To Fury, the idea is laughable and dangerous at the same time. Other fighters share similar concerns. Some say Joshua landing, even a glancing shot, could cause catastrophic damage. They argue that no commission should sanction the fight as a competitive bout. They point to the fact that Paul is a cruiserweight and claim that pairing him with a man like Joshua is irresponsible. They call it madness, spectacle, money grab, entertainment, but not boxing. They say Joshua has nothing to gain and everything to risk if Paul somehow survives longer than expected. Yet the financial offer is too big to ignore, and the world watches as negotiations continue. David Haye, a former heavyweight champion himself, offers a balanced view. He warns that while Joshua holds every advantage, no fighter can underestimate an opponent, no matter their background. Boxing is full of surprises. Unexpected punches land. Fighters lose focus. Underdogs rise. Haye reminds everyone that Francis Ngannou shocked the world when he knocked down Tyson Fury, proving that strange matchups can lead to extraordinary moments. Still, Haye makes it clear that the probability of Paul beating Joshua is almost non-existent. Joshua, though older, is still in his prime, still sharp, still powerful. He remains everything a heavyweight should be: large, dangerous, intelligent, and battle. If the fight happens, Haye believes it will become a massive global event that ends with one result: a knockout that may send Jake Paul into retirement. This bizarre collision between a YouTube star and a heavyweight champion feels surreal, a strange chapter in the sport's long history of spectacle. Yet the anticipation continues to grow, the headlines multiply, and the world watches as one of boxing's biggest names inches closer to a fight few ever imagined. Thank you for watching. What do you think? Should Anthony Joshua take this fight? And does Jake Paul truly understand the danger he's stepping into? Share your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us for more dramatic stories from the world of boxing.